Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
My dear students, welcome to Chemistry online classes. I am Jace Anthony. Today we are going to discuss about the first PUC topic, atomic structure, that black body radiation. Okay. The question arises, what is black body radiation? What is black body radiation? What do you mean by black body radiation? Any idea about this? Any idea? Black body radiation? So, in general you know that black body means black color body. Radiation means, you know that light radiation, it emits radiation. If it is called black body radiation, then it is that black body radiation? No. Black body radiation means it is an ideal body or it is perfect body. Ideal body or it is called perfect body. It absorbs all kind of radiation. It emits all kind of radiation. It absorbs all kind of wavelength and it emits all kind of wavelength. It is called black body radiation. It is an ideal body, absorb all radiation, all wavelength. Radiation, absorb all radiation. Instead of writing here, absorb all wavelengths. Bracket I will write radiation. And emits all radiation or all wavelength. See, my dear students, what is perfect black body means? It is an ideal body, one which absorb all kind of radiation. All kind of radiation means all kind of wavelength, and it emits all kind of wavelength. It is called perfect black body radiation. Perfect black body radiation. Black body radiation. It is an ideal body, absorb all wavelength. In bracket I wrote radiation, you can write wavelength or radiation, no problem, radiation, and emits all wavelength. It is called perfect black body. I will give you one example for perfect black body, how it acts actually. You know that iron rod is taken, iron rod is taken. Iron is heated to high temperature. Iron is heated. What happens? When heating iron, you know that at the beginning of heating iron, it becomes dull red color. Dull red color. Continuously you heat and it becomes a dark red color. Again you are heating, continuously you are heating, you are increasing the temperature to 4000 Kelvin temperature. What happens? The color slowly changes. So at the beginning it is dull red color, after that it becomes dark red color, again orange, yellow and orange, then yellow, then white, then blue. Like this color varies. You know that You are heating this particular iron rods and it gives first red color, then it gives red, then dull red, after that red color, then orange color, then yellow color, then white color, then blue color. Like that, this gives different colors. The beginning red color and later orange, yellow, white, blue. This color formation takes place in this one. Correct? No. The very important thing is in this one, the color changes. You can see the wavelength of this one. Red have highest wavelength. I will write high lambda. Lambda means wavelength. And blue having lowest wavelength, low wavelength, I will write lambda like this. Okay. Now red having low frequency, that I will write nu, and blue having high frequency. You know that. We studied electromagnetic radiation spectrum. Correct? No, electromagnetic radiation spectrum. In that we were discussed about this particular. So one which having highest wavelength, lowest frequency, and one which having lowest frequency, highest wavelength. So your red having highest wavelength, lowest frequency. Understood? So here to your color changes. That means when you heat iron, slowly wavelength decreases. Slowly wavelength decreases. Here to here wavelength decreases. The more you heat, wavelength decreases, same time frequency increases. That means it become more and more brighter. Intensity also increases. Correct? No? That's what. While heating at the beginning, it was okay. Dull red, dark red, then orange, and that intensity of the color become more and more. That means frequency of that particular color increases by heating. The more you increase the temperature, more it increases. So that's what. More heating, increase in temperature, what happens? Increase in intensity and increase in frequency, decrease in wavelength. So my dear students, so iron, if you heat, you are getting this type of colors. So that I will explain using one graph actually. Shall I rub this? Okay. To represent this one, I am using intensity versus wavelength graph. Intensity increases this way and wavelength increases this way. Intensity increases this way and wavelength increases this way. This axis, XY axis. Okay. Now what I told, the beginning, when you heat one particular thing, wavelength is highest. Iron is heated at the beginning, wavelength is highest. By increasing the temperature, more and more temperature, automatically wavelength decreases, frequency increases. Correct? No. Now in this case I will represent two temperature, T1 lower temperature, T2 higher temperature, T1, T2 temperature. So which type of graph I will get means intensity versus wavelength. That means I will write first intensity increases, wavelength decreases. First one graph I will write and second graph I will write like this. In this one, this peak, see intensity is highest at this point. Correct, my dear students? Look at this. intensity is highest at temperature T1. Here intensity is highest at another temperature T2. T2 is high temperature, T1 is low temperature. Okay. As we discussed earlier, when we heat something, perfect bad body, what happens? Intensity increases. While heating, intensity increases. Same time, here I am write 1000 nanometer, 2000 nanometer, 3000 nanometer, 4000 nanometer. At the beginning, see, at lower temperature, look at this. When you heat this one, at a particular point, intensity become more. After that, sharp decrease in intensity. At a one point you are getting, it is around 4000 Kelvin temperature, you are getting sharp temperature, sharp intensity, this point, temperature T1. You have getting one particular wavelength, it been between 2000 something is there, 2500 you write, no problem. Okay. You are getting this wavelength. That means wavelength in this case is over. In second temperature, this is a wavelength. Here, look at my dear students, just you look at wavelength part and temperature part. At low temperature, wavelength is more. It's around 2500, correct? At low temperature, wavelength is more. That means when the temperature increases, wavelength also decreases. Here T2, temperature increases, intensity is more. Temperature increases, intensity is more, frequency is more, but wavelength is decreases. Here you look at this. T1 temperature, wavelength is around 2500 nanometer, but here T2 temperature, wavelength is around 1500 nanometer. That means when the temperature increases, intensity increases, wavelength decreases, note down this point, decrease in wavelength. When the temperature increases, intensity increases, wavelength decreases. When low temperature, wavelength decreases only, but compared to this high temperature, low temperature, little more wavelength is there. Understood? You are comparing T1 and T2. At a T1 temperature means low temperature, T2 means high temperature. At a high temperature, more decrease in wavelength, highest is the intensity. At high temperature, highest intensity, decrease in wavelength. This way, wavelength increases. If it comes this way, means wavelength decreases. At this point, wavelength decreases. For T1, low temperature, little more wavelength increases compared to T2. Correct, no? Okay. Please note down, my dear students. Here you write T2 greater than T1. Okay, my dear students, now we are going to discuss about the Bose model of the atom. Bose is a scientist. He explained about this particular Bohr model of atom. So we have to study this Bohr model of atom, how exactly that atom and electrons and nucleus and entire those things is arranged in the atom. So we are going to study about Bose model, postulates of Bose model, one of the important questions for board actually, postulates of Bose model. See, my dear students, I will explain with the diagram. Imagine this is a nucleus, okay, and nucleus is surrounded by electrons. In a particular shell is there, so it is like this. So this I will call K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, like that. Understood? Shells. K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, like that it goes actually, cells. Otherwise I can in number, if I give means n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, like that numbers. That means this is one energy shell, another shell, third shell, fourth shell, fifth shell, sixth shell, like that shell. In this, nucleus is at the center, positively charged nucleus at the center. Electrons revolves around the nucleus in a circular path, like this. Electrons revolves around the nucleus in a circular path, like this. It revolves. In its orbit only it revolves. This explained by Bohr's model of the atom. The first point he said, center of an atom. Center of an atom contain heavy mass, positive charged proton. Positively charged, heavy mass proton. Second point is said, electrons revolves around this particular nucleus. See, this is nucleus. Electron revolves around this nucleus in a circular path. Electrons revolves. Proton is heavily charged, heavy mass proton is called nucleus. Nucleus also contains neutrons along with this one, okay, proton and neutrons. Electrons revolves around the nucleus, electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular path, like this, circular path, in a circular path. Is called orbit. See, my dear students, remember, circular path is called orbit. Orbital is different. It is orbital. See, this word we are discussing about, this orbital is different. Orbital means it is house of electron. You can call it as house of electron. One orbital, maximum how many electron can occupy one orbital? Maximum 2 electron can occupy one orbital. That is called house of electron, orbital. But orbit, why do you know that? That orbit is a circular path. This path, the electron moves in a circular path, is called orbit. Note down, if you are writing in exam, orbital means you will be getting this circular path this side, like this circular path. The same circular path I will be giving this side. So be careful about this one. Electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular path, is called orbit. Understood? Next point, the energy. Okay. Okay, and orbit in a fixed ratio. Here you write third point, electron revolves in a circular, in orbit, fixed radius from nucleus. That means if one electron is revolving here, means fixed radius, this radius will be fixed throughout. And if the one electron is revolving in this circular path, that radius, here to here, radius is fixed. Understood? Radius is always same. Understood? Fixed radius from nucleus and energy, fixed energy. Fixed radius and energy is 3 points. See, the energy of the electron in the orbital do not change with the time. That is very important, my dear students. Energy of the electron in the orbit, like this, energy of the electron in the orbit do not change with the time. Energy of electron in the orbit do not change with the time, do not change with the time, with the time. So that, okay, no doubt, do not change with the time. See, my dear students, in this one, as long as, what do you mean by this one? Energy of the electron orbit do not change with the time. That means one electron belongs to this particular orbit, this particular shell. See, as long as this electron remains in this shell, see, this is actually n is equal to 3. Imagine one electron is present on n is equal to 3 shell, or another name you can call it as m shell. M shell. In m shell, one electron is present. As long as it belongs to, it remains in this shell, its energy is fixed. Understood? As long as it remains in this particular shell, its energy is fixed. That energy of this particular shell is called, this state is called stationary state. This electron belongs to this particular shell. If it remains in this particular shell, means it is a stationary state for that one. Stationary state, or it is called ground state. Note down, my dear students. Imagine one electron is present in, see here, one electron is present in n is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 means first energy level. If that electron remain in that n is equal to 1 energy level, as long as it remains in 1 energy level, then its energy is fixed. So ground state, it is called ground state for this electron. For this electron, ground state is this one, n is equal to 4 level. As long as it belongs to that level, its energy is fixed, then the ground state for this electron is equal to n is equal to 4. Understood? For each electron, ground state is there. For means energy is fixed. Okay, fixed ground state energy cell. For example, few electrons you can see n shell. N shell, as long as it is remain in n shell, energy is fixed. Energy is fixed, same time it is called ground state. Here you can write, as long as electron remain in its shell, energy fixed, and it is called stationary state. Stationary state. Or it is called ground state. Ground state. Ground state. Stationary state, or it is called ground state. Over. Shall I wrap this, my dear students? Okay, that is over. That means if in one electron belongs to one particular shell, if it remains in that shell, means its energy is fixed, same time radius is fixed, and same time that state is called stationary state, or it is called ground state. Okay, see, in permitted orbit is there. Permitted orbit. In that permitted orbit, the angular momentum of the electron, angular momentum of the electron in a permitted orbit, electron moves like this. Like this. I will write once again here. This is nucleus. This is permitted orbit. In this orbit, this electron is moving like this. Moving like this. So its angular momentum. What is angular momentum means? MVR. Angular momentum means MVR. What do you mean by MVR? M means mass of electron. M means mass of electron. V means velocity with which this electron moves in its circular path. How much velocity? ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ವಿತ್ ವಿಚ್ electron moves, understood, in its orbit, Next is R means radius of that particular radius. From radius means from nucleus, that means here to here, how much radius is there? Distance from electron to electron orbit to distance from electron orbit to nucleus is called radius. So electron orbit to R, I will write it as R, and electron moves with the mass m. It has mass m, and velocity with which it moves like this, it is actually v. So this is nothing but angular momentum, MVR. Distance from the nucleus to the electron orbit, it is r, and mass with the electron moves and velocity with which that electron moves in its circular path, it is called angular momentum. Understood? So electron revolves in a circular path. So you can calculate angular momentum. What is angular momentum? It is nothing but MVR. You are calculating distance from this particular nucleus to electron orbit r, and you are calculating mass of that particular electron and velocity with which that electron is moving. So one formula is given, the angular momentum of this particular electron, this you write, angular momentum MVR. Okay. Shall I rub this? Next point you write. Next point, fifth point. In a permitted orbit, angular momentum of a electron is how much? MVR is given with one value, one fixed value, that is fixed. Is a whole number of electron is a whole number multiple of h by 2 pi. That means I will explain. MVR means what, Maka? Angular momentum is how much it is given? They given one fixed value. It is nothing but h by 2 pi, but they are saying that it is an whole number multiple. What is whole number multiple? MVR is equal to h by 2 pi. H by 2 pi is the value. H, you know that Planck's constant 6.627 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Correct? Pi, you know that 3.14, and what value you are getting? See, you substitute here h 6.627 into 10 to the power minus 34 here divided by 2 into pi is how much? 3.14. What value you are getting? That value is nothing but the angular momentum of that particular electron. Clear? Clear? Clear. So here substitute h value, you are also substituting pi value. H value you know that is Planck's constant value 6.627 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and pi value you know that 3.14. While substituting this value, what value you are getting here? This divided by this 2 into pi, and you are getting one particular answer. That answer is nothing but angular momentum of an electron in a orbit. It is nothing but angular momentum of an electron in a particular orbit. Imagine they given actually it is an whole number multiple of that particular. Whole number multiple means here I will write this formula, MVR is equal to n into h2 pi. This is actually whole number n. N means what? N is an integer. It may be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. What do you mean by n now? What do you mean by n now? Sir, what do you mean by n, sir? If I write here 1 into h divided by 2 pi. If I write here 2, then it is h divided by. So, I will tell you my dear students, n is an integer 1, 2, 3, 4 is given. Whole number multiple means n is a whole number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From where it this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comes means, imagine if I asked with you, find angular momentum of electron present in first orbit. Find angular momentum of an electron present in first orbit. Immediately you will go and see, this is the first orbit, n is equal to 1, it is nothing but a K shell. Correct? You are checking this, electron is present here. So, here to here, radius you have to check, mass of this particular electron you have to check, velocity with which it moves in this particular you have to check, MVR. So, this is actually MVR, you are calculating for first electron present in first shell. So, what you are calculating here, MVR is equal to first shell means n value becomes 1 into h divided by 2 pi. Suppose, my dear students, if I asked, my dear students, you calculate a angular momentum of electron present in second shell. Second shell means immediately it comes second shell, this one. Correct? Second shell, this one. Second shell, here to here, radius, mass, velocity with which moves, that is nothing but L shell. So, you are writing for second shell, MVR is equal to, here if it is a second shell, then n value comes 2 into h divided by 2 pi. How that we are getting n value there? Electron present in which orbit? You have to substitute that orbit number. Clear? For example here, if I ask you to find out, you find this one, which one? Angular momentum of fourth shell means you are finding here to here, radius, mass, velocity. So you are finding, so what is MVR of this fourth shell means, if I asked electron, you find out angular momentum of a electron present in a fourth shell, that means nothing but n is equal to 4, n shell, that you are substituting here angular momentum for fourth shell electron, MVR is equal to, this is third shell, second shell. Understood? MVR is equal to, what I should substitute here? Whole number, which whole number I should choose? It is fourth shell, so it is 4 into h divided by 2 pi. It's nothing but angular momentum of electron present in a fourth shell. So you are substituting, you are getting one value 4 into H 6.627 divided by 2 into 3.14 here 10 to the power minus 34. Like this you are substituting the values. Understood? By calculating you are getting one value. The same value you are substituting here. MVR is equal to angular momentum of an electron in a fourth shell is nothing but this much value. Angular momentum in a second shell you are getting this much value. So n value means in which orbit that electron is present. Okay. So you can calculate angular momentum of any electron in any shell. Any electron may in fourth shell, fifth shell, sixth shell. Once you come to know that in which shell it is present means immediately you can calculate MVR, angular momentum of that particular electron. Note down my dear students. My dear students, last point is energy absorbed or emitted by an electron only during jumping. For example, I will tell you, this is nucleus, energy level, n is equal to 1 or you can call it as a K shell, n is equal to 2 or it is called, you can call it as a L shell. See, energy is emitted or absorbed only in the electron when the jump from one energy level to another energy level takes place. Energy emitted or absorbed by the electron only when jump from one level to another level. My dear students, say one electron is present in this, n is equal to 1 level. Thus I will represent with the electron here. Okay. If this electron remain in this shell, that energy is fixed. When you heat this particular atom, what happens? This electron absorb energy and jumps to higher energy level, like this, jumps to higher energy level. Sometimes if it absorbs more energy and it may jump to higher energy level, or it may jump to highest energy level, next energy level, fifth energy level, sixth energy. How much energy it absorbs when you are heating? Heat is one form of energy. That energy will be absorbed by the electron present in the atom. Understood? That electron absorbs that energy and it jumps to higher energy level. Jumping from lower energy level to higher energy level, n1 is equal to 1, 2, n1 is equal to 4, 3, 2, like that higher energy level, next higher energy level. So for example, n is equal to 1, 2, n is equal to, n may be 2 or 3 or 4, any higher energy level, it can jump to 2 or 3 or 4. That jump is called excited state. By absorbing energy, heat energy, electron jump from lower energy level to higher energy level. That means if n is equal to 1, imagine, okay, this is about n is equal to 1 electron. One electron is present in another electron present in n is equal to 2 level. So this is stationary state for this particular electron, down state, correct? Sometimes this electron absorb energy and it may jump to higher energy level, like this, higher energy level. So this is also jumping, understood? That means n is equal to 2, next higher energy level 3 to 4, 5, like n is equal to 3 to next higher energy level 4 to 5. These all type of jumping only, lower energy level to higher energy level. moving from lower energy level to higher energy level, it is called excited state of electron. Excited state. My dear students, what I explained now, by absorbing energy it jumps to higher energy level. But same time you should discuss one more term here. Higher energy level is not stable. Not stable. So that electron jumped from lower energy level to higher energy level. Once it reaches higher energy level, it always thinks that I should go back to my home stationary state, ground state. Why? That higher energy level is not stable. It always think that electron, oh, I want to go to home no, right now. I want to go to my stationary state, ground state. How it can come back? That is very important. How it can come back? By losing its energy. What it absorbed, it should emit that one. Correct? No. What it absorbed, it should emit that particular. Same time it can come back. So, one electron absorbed energy and it jumps to higher energy level, n is equal to 2. This is n is equal to 1 and it jump to n is equal to 2 means if this electron want to come back to the same, then what it should do? It should emit energy. It should emit energy. What it is absorbed, it should emit. Automatically it will come back. So one person is too rich. By getting money, he become too rich. Crores of rupees he is getting. Too rich. The beginning he was a poor one. He took this one lottery. After that is bumper he got. At that what happened? 1 crore bumper. He become a rich person. Now he is a crorepati. Correct? No. So before it was poor. Means before it is actually that poor become rich. Poor become rich. So when he become, so he want to become poor means what he should do now? Should give his money back or he something donation. I don't want this 1 crore rupees. You take away from my money. I don't want anything. I will be here like this. Then he become a poor. Once he loses its money, then he become again poor. Understood? Same type. Once this electron gets energy, heat energy, it jumps to higher energy level. If that electron want to come back, that means higher energy level is not stable. Automatically it come back by losing its energy. Losing its energy in the form of radiation. Losing its energy in the form of radiation. What energy it absorbed, it is nothing but heat radiation. The same radiation will be emitted by that particular electron and it can come back to original level. So, jumping by absorbing energy, it jumps to higher energy level. Higher energy level is highly unstable. It will come back to lower energy level by losing its energy. In which form it loses its energy? In the form of radiation. Radiation it emits out from that electron. What it is absorbed radiation, it will emitted out and it come back to original position like this. That's the electron jump and it come back to original position. So I will tell you, my dear students. So imagine at the beginning electron having energy before jumping E1. It reaches to higher energy level. At that time energy may be E2, highest energy. What is the difference in energy? Difference in energy is nothing but delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. Correct? See, before jumping, energy of that particular electron E1. Consider it is E1, energy of that particular E1. After jumping, the energy increased, it is actually E2. What is the difference of this energy means? Here to here difference means delta E, change in energy. Delta E is nothing but a change in energy, is nothing but E2 minus E1. Correct? This much energy difference is there. Correct? E1 to E2, this much energy difference is there. E1 to E2, this much energy difference is there. So the change in energy is nothing but delta E2 minus E1. Understood? So as long as that electron belongs to that particular shell, in a permitted shell, permitted orbit, if it revolves means the energy is fixed. When that energy changes takes place, when the electron absorb heat energy and jumps to higher energy level, immediately energy changes. Understood? Sometimes, most of the times that energy level changes and after it come back. Why? By absorbing radiation, heat energy, it jumps to higher energy level. Higher energy level is highly unstable. It will come back by emitting its energy. Emitted. Understood? So it come back. So this is about Bohr's model. Bohr's model. Bohr's model. My dear students, first what he said, the center nucleus is heavy massed, positive charged, and the electron revolves around this particular nucleus in a circular path is called orbit. Understood? And if that electron revolves in this revolves around this nucleus in a particular permitted orbit, that radius is fixed, energy is fixed. Understood? And angular momentum of this particular electron in a fixed orbit is a whole number multiple of n into h by 2 pi. Understood? So energy changes for that particular electron only when it jumps from one energy level to higher energy level. Two type of jumping is possible, from lower energy level to higher energy level is called excited state, or higher energy level to lower energy level is called ground state. Understood? Two jumping is possible. What is the energy difference? Delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. Okay. So electron can remain on this particular shell only, not between these two. Don't think that it can come and you know that one ladder is there, ladder. Imagine this is energy level. You can stand on this particular ladder, correct? No, this point or this point or this. In between, can you? Is it possible? No. So electron also, in particular shell only it can remain. Okay, not in between the shell. So this is about Bohr's model of atom.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.